Good evening and welcome to Ringer Sports Studio. Tonight is Tuesday, November the 19th. I'm Ringer Senior and I'm here with.
Ringer Junior.
We are broadcasting our Tuesday night Ringer Sports Studio Sports Edition at Ringer Sports Studio. You can find us on Twitter at ColumnRing12 or you can tune into our YouTube channel. If you haven't had a chance to do so, please check out our videos and like and subscribe if you like the content that you see. We've got a father-son duo here broadcasting live videos talking about all major sports: baseball, basketball, football, college basketball, you name it. We are talking about it. And it's Tuesday night, so it's college football night, NBA action, college basketball action. Every night of the week, you're going to get a professional sport going on and or college sport, especially now that we're in the fall and college basketball is kicked off and college football is still running strong here for the next little while. So please check us out. We cashed in a 5% play last night, which was absolutely an easy one that came in the first quarter with the Houston Ringer Junior's favorite pick of the week, Houston over 12.5. First half points putting us to a record of 32-19. I know Ringer Junior broadcasted last night that we were very close in our last 5% play with Minnesota, sitting at 23, but they couldn't kick an extra point, and I think they missed another field goal in the game as well, which ended up costing us. But we're 32-19, 62.7% on all of our 5% plays, which is our best bets and the ones we like the most, which we talk about. Typically, we're doing 4% or 3% plays that we talk about within each of our best bets on our videos, and we also like to talk some leans as well. So pretty tough day last night. We actually did okay. We were on a losing side of things, but just wanted to shout out on the Nico Collins prop. We had over 75.5 receiving yards, and we also had to score a touchdown. And for those that tuned into that game, first play of the game went for 77-yard touchdown. Got called back for illegal man downfield. Something the refs are calling quite regularly. If you watch the video itself, the offensive lineman has no one to even block, let alone getting downfield. So anyway, questionable call, but that would have got us over or would have cashed in on two of our prop bets last night. But anyways, our 5% play come in. That's what matters the most because that is our most important play. So jumping into tonight's action, small card here going on tonight. We've got 4 picks. I've got 2. Ringer Junior has 2. We'll talk briefly about those games. And then we'll get this video posted live so you can have a chance to check it out. These are all going to be 4% plays right across the board. We like them all really well, and hopefully they'll come through in cash. So, Ringer Junior, I'm going to go ahead and put it over to you first for your 2 picks.
My first pick here, I'm going to look at the Denver against Memphis game. I'm going to look at Christian Braun over 13.5 points. No Jokic tonight. He's averaging 16 points the year. I'd be shocked if he doesn't get at least 15. The only time he has not gotten this in his last 9 games has been against Memphis in his last game. But after that 15, 14, 21, 24, 17, 17, 14. So just way over that 13.5 total. I know they have Jamal Murray and Porter Jr. That's probably going to steal some points from him, but I don't know. I could see him probably getting a couple fast break points from a steal, especially with his good defense. And 13.5 seems too low for me, so I'm going to take that as a 3% play. And heading over to my last play, it's going to be actually Jaylen Brown, 2 Browns. Jaylen Brown over 34.5 PRA. He's gone over this in 8 of his last 10 games. Can't talk. Boston 11-3, playing 15-0 Cleveland at home. Tatum, he's been very impressive, averaging 30. Jaylen Brown is a second option, though. He's averaging 25 points a game. Something I'm actually shocked at is he's averaging 7 rebounds, 4 assists. I could see him probably scoring 25-30. If Tatum has an off night, he'll definitely go off. See him probably putting up 17 plus shots. He has shot around that this year, actually shooting 20 shots a game, which is something really good. So say he makes, I don't know, 12 of them and a bunch of free throws, that's 30 points and a couple of threes, and that means we only need I don't know, 6 or 7 rebounds and assists to get over the 34.5 PRA total. I would also take that one as a 3% play.
All right, yeah, interesting picks. I'm surprised Brown Browns total for Denver's at 13.5. Something seems a little bit fishy there, but it seems still pretty low. Him being able to get up and over this total. I know having Jokic on the floor definitely helps Braun get open for some easy baskets, especially when they're doubling Jokic. But should be an up and down game. Two relatively high scoring teams, so he's a very quick and bouncy type of guy that should be able to get up and down the floor to get some easy fast break points and easy high percentage field goal attempts. I also think he has an opportunity to get a couple 3-pointers as well, 2 3-pointers, and you're almost halfway to that point total. So should be good. And like Ringer Jr. said, Jaylen Brown putting up lots of shots, lots of opportunities. It's going to be televised game tonight here in the Boston Cavaliers game. Should be very interesting. This is one of my picks actually. I'm looking at Boston to cover the 5.5 at home here. It's a relatively big number. I know it's a huge public play, regardless of who Boston's playing or how good they are. They're huge fan favorites. They're going to have public side on them on each and every game, no matter what. If you look at the Cavaliers team, they are undefeated at 15-0. Boston's sitting at 11-3. It is a play-in, or it is the Emirates tournament type style game tonight. So we'll have the colored court here in Boston. I'm sure with the game tonight. Boston lost their first one to Atlanta in Boston by one, if you recall, a couple weeks ago or last week. And the Cavaliers won their first one, I believe, against Charlotte. So it should be an interesting matchup. I think where I'm looking at this and why we're looking at Boston for a couple of reasons. Boston is defending champions. They probably don't like to see the Cavaliers with 3 less losses than they do. They want to have a statement game. They want to be the first team to knock off the Cavaliers as well. And I think Boston plays much better at home than most teams. They get up 53 3-pointers per game at home, which is absolutely absurd. They're hitting 39% of those at home as well. So they have a higher percentage, 2 or 3 extra more 3-pointers at home, smaller, higher percentage at home. They're going to be firing at all cylinders tonight. I think Brown and Tatum are going to have huge games. And then if you look at the Cavaliers, they really haven't played top of the notch, top 1, 2, or 3 type of teams. They've only played, it looks like, I believe, if I recall, there's only played 2 teams that actually made it through a first round playoff series last year. I believe the Knicks and Orlando are the 2 teams. They played, Chicago twice, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Toronto, Detroit, Washington, Philly. If you look at those teams, none of them are good right now. So they haven't really played a top contending team like the Celtics. I think it's going to be a statement game. I think the Celtics are going to come out and play. The last thing I'll mention is the Cavaliers actually are 28th overall in the league at defending the 3-pointer. So when you have a high volume type of 3-pointing team, they're going to get wide open looks that are going to actually fall. And if they get hot, you get Hauser out there, you get Brown out there. Obviously, Tatum's going to put up 8 or 10 threes himself. Pritchard, anybody's going to shoot 3, and if they can get up on that, I think it's going to be Cleveland trying to fight back at the end of the game. So I do see this one being in Boston's favor, winning by 7 or 8 points. 5.5 is a big number, especially playing a 15-0 team. But anything I've read today is leaning on the taking the side with Boston, even though it is a huge public play. So that's my pick as a 4% play. I'm going to turn to a player prop now, Jaren Jackson. At home against the Denver Nuggets game that Ringer Jr. talked about with Chris Brown over 13.5. I'm going to look at Jaren Jackson. Pretty much the main force in the offense right now. No Ja Morant playing. I know Edey's out too. Would be coming off the bench as a center, probably subbing in for Jackson. He's averaging 24.8 points in November. He's averaging 25 points in his last 10 games. He's going to get a lot of touches. He's going to have an opportunity to score. No Jokic in the middle to prevent or block any shots. It's going to be an up and down game. He also likes to shoot the 3, so if he knocks down a couple 3s, I can easily see him getting into the high 20s here in this specific game, especially with no Ja in the game. So
or Edey.
Or Edey. Yeah, I know Edey's mostly off the bench, but he's going to have an opportunity to play a lot of minutes here. They are favored by 5 points. Seems like a big number even with Jokic out, because Denver still can play with Murray and with Porter and with Brown. I know Gordon's also out, so this should be an up and down, high scoring affair. And I think that Jackson should cash this one relatively easy with 23, 24, 25 type points, easy up and over the 21.5 as a 4% play. So there you have it. There's our picks. Celtics minus 5.5. Jackson over 21.5. Ringer Jr.'s got Brown from Denver over 13.5 points, and he also has Jaylen Brown from the Celtics over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Should be a nice night for basketball. Check out that Celtics Cavs game. It's going to be a good one. I think Boston has potential to win this one big as well. So please like, subscribe, share our YouTube channel. Find us at Twitter, Colin Ring 12. Otherwise, have an amazing Tuesday night. If you like them, hopefully you'll catch them. Have a great night.